Hello everyone and welcome to the Delta T Racing Season 4 opener at the French Grand Prix pre-season. I am your commentator today and I'll be taking you through all the action. Let's get right into qualifying. No one out straight away. Obviously everyone's setting up the setups, making sure the car's right just for the intense laps ahead that will be to start this brand new season. Oh, we have got a car coming out. Get us some action going straight away. Who have we got? It's Billy. Billy, Division 3 driver last season actually. He did have, I think he had a good season, maybe in his own personal opinion, but overall I think we would probably hope for a bit better. I think he scored around 120 points, got 2 podiums, didn't win a single race unfortunately for him in the Haas lineup, teaming up again this season in Division 4 in the Haas with his teammate Stuart Foxy here today. He came second in the Drivers' Championship. He had a much better season than I think he probably would have expected. He got 6 podiums, a few wins under his belt as well there. I'm sure they'll both be aiming for another Constructors' victory like in Division 3 with their Mercedes. One thing about this lineup though, that I don't think they'd even know or expect, is that both of them, despite hitting 8 podiums over 12 races last season in Division 3, failed to score a double podium together, which you would say is quite odd given there was only 4 races where they weren't on the podium. So I'm sure they'll be looking to rectify that, maybe hit each other a double podium today and sort that out. Just getting ready to start that lap. Who's closest to starting their lap? I think it's Stuart. Let's have a look at the first lap of the season from Stuart in the Haas. I'll go on board soon actually. Here we go. Takes turn 1 nicely, follows up turn 2. Just inbound. Head down to turn 3. Now you want to take the curve as much as you can. Oh! I'm gathering he must have invalidated his lap on that last one because that is not the line. Let's have a look at Billy then. The Haas pairing. Now I might concentrate on a few more drivers other than in certain races just because I know more, but obviously as I go along throughout the season I'll get to know all the drivers and what they do, how they're doing. Doing the pit car, he's doing the pits. Interesting, you want to get out there as soon as possible. Very well taken there from Billy. Obviously these early laps, a lot of the track's not really applying the tyres, it's not really got rubber down, so many of these laps will be beaten, but obviously it's very nice to get off the mark and show your intentions for the start of the season. Let's get the head going, yeah. That's there. Hopefully there's no desync problems. You get those sometimes in this game. Here he comes rounding out the final few turns. Nicely done. Let's see what kind of time he can set in his first lap of the season. The first actual classified lap of the season. A 131.5. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure he'll be after that. ABXMT comes in with a 132.1. Who we got coming up? It's Evan. A good driver, I've driven against him a few times. Sets up, oh, something must have gone wrong there, surely. 145.8. 145 flat, sorry. And then next to cross the line. Eon Dunn starting a lap. Oh, Elliot. A 134 flat. Billy's really set the pace here early on. I would have thought a lot of these laps would have been closer, but clearly he's got feeling himself today. Stuart's back in the pits as well, Stuart Foxy. Oh! Eon done. Maybe pushing a bit too hard on your first lap. You just want to set a time really on these laps and make sure you are at least got a qualifying time. Flooring with 151. Must have had another spin. Oh! No, he's in the wall. What happened there? Where is he? Was coming out of turn 2. He's probably span it into the wall. I can't see any damage. So maybe he's just got away with that. I have to keep an eye on that. Who's coming up to line? We've got him as... Got an Alfa Romeo, I think, rounding the final few corners again. That's Eon. Anyone on a hot lap? Well, Kai's about to start a lap in the Ferrari. Oh! I think he's lacking a front wing as well. On an out lap. Must have had a... He's invalidated as well, so I don't know what's happened there. He needs to get right back in the pits. You want to be setting these laps. This is time what you're wasting. Realistically. Here we go. Dave in the Red Bull. Let's see what he's all about. Nicely taken. He's not gone as wide as some people like to go wide through that turn there to get the best exit, but that's very much up to the driver on that one. Bit of curve on the final turn. Not the best exit, but see what you can set. Ooh! I'll eat my words. A 1:31.6 from old Dave in the Red Bull. The closest competitive time to Billy. Oh! Oof. A lot of spins early on, maybe because the track's not rubbered down, but I'm sure he won't mind too much. He set his lap. I'm sorry, I had the cameras on you. Charlie as well, looks like he's gone off and had a spin. A lot of people losing the rear end around this track. Man like Donkey, setting A, 1:42.9. Robsu, you'd be surely hoping to set a lap at this point. So 10 of the 16 drivers set a lap so far. I can only imagine that's an invalidation, yeah. Or is he maybe going around to get a lap done for Stewart? Let's stay on board and have a quick look, shall we? Last season in Division 4, the pole sitter had a 1:29.7, so I imagine there is still more time to come from all these drivers. Here we go. Oh, no. Into the pits he dives. So does Charlie. Oh, Elliot's on an out lap. Man like Donkey looks like he's coming in hot as well. Is this another lap step? This is an out lap for ABXN. Let's have a look at what he can do this lap then. Ooh. No, he stayed in bounds there. If it looked like all four wheels had gone off, but clearly not. The Alpine driver. It'd be nice to see. This will really set the gauge for who's going to be competitive this season and who may, be looking at only a few odd points. Got yellow flags in sector 1. I imagine that's a spin on turn 2. Turn 2 really catches a lot of drivers out due to the fact that, you set yourself up turn 1, you go through turn 1, you instantly into turn 2. And it's a complete direction change. These cars, the rears on these cars just do not like that turn at all, I found this year. In my own personal experience, maybe a few other drivers have sorted out another one. Turn 2 spin there, you can see, as we stay on board with ABMT. Got a retirement there from high 25. I think that's coming onto the straight on sector 2. Oh dear. That's not the start you want to any... I know it's just pre-season, but that is not the start that anyone really wants. ABXMT. Look, this looks like a pretty solid lap so far. As he rounds to the final straight, he hits a 1:31.8. Not bad, he's getting involved there. What drivers do we have on? Out laps here. Or flying laps, should I say, sorry. Florian. Looks like he's struggling to get through the gears there. So we've got other drivers in the pits. Leon Dunn's. Trundle's back to the pits. Let's go on board with Niki Lauda. Obviously not the real Niki Lauda. He would have been setting absolute banging the whole time by now. Let's see if he can do the name justice. Yeah, as I was saying prior, the fastest lap round here last year in this division was a 1:29.7 set by Eskelios, who's currently not here at the moment, but he is driving for the AlphaTauri. Here's the fin. Nice wide line through there. Gives himself the best exit. Tucks in nicely down that turn. Sector 3 really is like a different track round here, and during the race you'll find it was the best opportunity to got some yellow flags starting sector 2 there. Looks like one of the Hasses. Yeah, sector 3 really is the best opportunity to break the DRS from anyone following you, and that is a tough thing to do as Niki Lauda sits at 31.9. Lee Stewart span on that last lap, hence why he's cut everything and planning on going for another lap, I assume. He's not set a lap yet. I would have expected him to do so. I think he's had a few spins on both his laps this time around, as I just quickly take a look at the timings. Oh, another spin by the Red Bull of Dave. Not what you need when you're trying to change tyre wear as well around here. It's really hard to do a second lap, like if you want to, due to just how horribly the tyres go off after a quick lap. But let's look at Stewart here in the Haas. Probably one of the favourites for the Drivers' Championship. Very nice. The yellow flag was just someone cutting it. Let's get a lap. Rounds sector 1, which is a very tough rear end screaming, wants to come out at you all the time. Get onto sector 2. It's basically just a big straight line. But the beauty really of it is it's the best part for overtaking on the track. You're not going to see any better really. This is where all the overtaking will be done in this sector. Important that you get a good exit out of that chicane as well, because as I've seen in the real life Grand Prix, actually quite a lot of cars, if you're offset going through that chicane in the middle, you are not going to have a fun time rounding out sector 2. I think that was a purple sector 2 as well actually, this Stewart, so he might be eyeing a bit of competition with Billy here, his teammate. He kept it, it's not invalidated his lap. Lucky boy. I will say, if you get round the final, that yellow flag's just someone slowing down. Oh, into the pits, another not set lap, even though I'm pretty sure he had a purple sector there. That's quite brave. Go on board with Eon Dunn. Driven against this driver a few times as well. Solid, fairly consistent driver. I think he's always in and around the kind of mid-pack. Be looking to make a big improvement this year, I'm sure. Once again, I will get to know all the drivers a lot better as the races go on. This is my first showing of this division really. First time on the commentary. Let's see as Eon rounds into set 3. Takes that nice, hooks it up well. What gear did he go into? Gear 3, put the most power through. About to set his first lap. We've got sector 2, someone slowing down for another car. Let's have a look at what Eon Dunn can set as a lap. Around the final corner. He's gonna set a 1:31.6. He's clearly heard me there say that he's around the mid pack and said, actually, sir, not today. Let's go on board with Gemma. I'm gonna say it's Jamakovic. It might be Kovic. I'm sure I'll learn my lesson with that one in the group chats later on. Billy's on an out lap. This will be everyone's final lap, really. I imagine we've got another spinner in sector 1 coming out of turn 2. Looks like it's an Alpha Tauri, perhaps. Or an LP. Either way, let's get back on board. Javakovic around the final turn, setting his first lap. Both Ferraris haven't set a lap yet, really. Don't know. I remember Kai had some wing damage early on, didn't he? So, as he sets a 1:38.7. Not what he'll be wanting. Let's go on board with Billy. This will probably be his, unless he's going on a double push, this will be his final lap. Same with Dave and Eon Dunn. Takes the curbs well. It's a real risk taking the curbs on this, obviously with track violations. You don't, but the advantage you gain from the curbs is incredible compared to not. Unless you're in turn 3, in which case the curbs basically just say, if you're on me, you're going around. Eon Dunn has retired from the session. Or has he done that in the pits? I think he might have done that in the pits, actually. So 1:31.5 for Billy. Previous best last year, 1:27.9. So he's a few seconds I'm expected to kind of be up on this one. 1:29.7, sorry. 1:31.1. Decent pace. What's Dave going to say about that in the Red Bull? This Florian hits a 1:31.7. Few drivers over. Oh, didn't look like he... Does he know better than me? Probably. Oh, just missing out by about a tenth of a second. 1:31.2. Very competitive times. Let's go on board with Stewart. The other Haas. And see what he's made of. As that McLaren does realistically want to get out of old Stewart's way here if he wants to set a good time. That's a yellow flag in this sector as well, actually. Is it just a driver parked up alongside to get out of the way? I think so. Yeah, I think it is. Thank you very much. Rounds the final few turns for Stewart. We're looking at a... Oof! 1:31.4, just behind his teammate this time. Billy gets the your last laugh in qualifying at least. Maybe this year Billy's decided, you know what, actually, it's time for me to challenge for a title. He's got the ability. I've seen it myself. All these drivers have the ability, but it's whether they can put it together. In qualifying, I don't want to say it's a 50% of the battle, but it's definitely a huge portion of it. As he goes on to the... See, everyone's just getting in the pits, rounding out the qualifying. But so far we've got Billy on pole position, Dave in the Red Bull, very close behind. Stewart, not too far behind that, and then ABXMT, going to have to find a better way of saying that, because that's just long to say. Coming in fourth, fifth place, Eon Dunn, sixth, Florian in the other Red Bull, seventh, Nicky Lauda, hooked it up well, eighth, Evan, ninth, Rob Sue, the Alpha Tauri pairing, although I'm pretty sure Skelios would usually have Evan's seat, not here right now. 10th, the reserve, Elliot showing some decent pace. 11th, Charlie. 12th, man. Oh, here we are, man like Zonky. 13th, the Italian, the Mighty Frax in the Williams. 14th, Jamakovic in the Ferrari. Lunatic Kai not setting a time, and Hyde retiring earlier on with an incident, I believe. Any incidents to talk about? A lot of lap invalidations or speeding in the pit lanes. I mean, it doesn't really matter in qualifying. Obviously, you don't want to do it, but if you're going to do it in qualifying. Man like Donkey only using 2 pairs of softs. Only using 1 pair of softs for Rejad. Interesting. Let's get involved. Coming up next then is the race, and I'm very excited to see how this goes with the top 9 all being within a second. But race pace is different to quali pace. I think a lot of people will find. Me personally, can't stand qualifying. I don't know what it is about knowing it's the one lap that sorts it all out, but during the race, once you get the flow going, you do feel a lot better about yourself. Anyhow, do feel free to put in the live chat as well anything that you're thinking, any points you may want to make that you think I have missed. Go right ahead, but right now we're just waiting for the race to start. I will also be trying to do a few interviews with driver, back, like behind the scenes, not live. I did one with a Skelios this week and asked him a few questions about how he was feeling about the upcoming season, being a driver that previously raced in this division last year, because we've got quite a few newcomers or people from other divisions coming into it. But when I did ask Skelios about how confident he was coming up to this season, he did say, as we start the formation lap, Skelios did tell me that he thinks it could be quite difficult due to the fact he switched to a wheel for this game and is lacking a bit of pace and consistency on track. But that comes with time on a wheel. We've all had that switch, or if we're still on controller, I'm sure you can appreciate the difficulty of learning a whole new craft. This was Skelios' probably strongest track as well. He won it last year, and it was the only win. So I'm sure he'll be trying to rectify that. And he'll be probably watching closely as all of this track action unfolds to see who he will be fighting this year. So it's Billy on pole position from Dave in the Red Bull and Stuart Foxy in the Haas. Maybe a bit of team play, these two, in the Nations League a few seasons back. I drove alongside them both. You can tell their partnership's quite strong in the Haas. They'll be looking for the Constructors' glory. But the thing is, obviously, if they're both as equal as they seem to have been this season, at the start of this qualifying anyway, in pre-season, it's quite difficult to work with a teammate who you're battling with in the Drivers' Championship. Constructors is nice, obviously, very nice. Drivers, that's where all the glory is. As we go through all the drivers, I'm interested to see what Lunatic Kai and Hyde can do, given they had not really shown anything during qualifying, not really set a time at all. I'm sure they'll be a bit miffed about that, but we'll have to see what they can do around the windy circuit. Well, not windy, windy sector 3, yes, but power heavy, tyre killing track that is Paul Ricard, and a bit of a harsh one on the eyes as well at times. It's all as Billy and the front lot get into position. Not a track you want to be really waiting too long for. We have got, you might see a few things saying someone's disqualified at this point. If they mess up like that, they're not disqualified. It's just they messed up the formation lap thing, so they will be a bit behind on the formation, a bit of a disadvantage for a few of these drivers on their set slot positions for the start of the race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the racing begins here at Delta T Racing. Start of the season. Weird angle, I will say. Billy, Stuart Foxy's jumped Dave immediately. There's a lot of movement going on the track. Coming into turn 1. So far, so good. Looks fairly clean. Oh, we've got a spinner. We've got a spinner. Evan is down. There's a few spin. Oh, let's just try to recuperate ourselves here. Ferrari Jamovic has lost his front wing. Looks like a lunatic kite escaped from that nicely. Robsu overtaking the Alfa Romeo of Ion Dunn. Get away nicely. Another yellow flag in sector 2. Stewart, will he be chasing the leader at the start? Is he going to make a move? No, he's going to tuck him nicely around his teammate for now. Maybe save the fighting for when you're a bit further up the field. Followed by Dave, ADXMT. We had the Red Bull's gone around with Florian. He'll be annoyed. He had a very good qualifying session. Predicted tyre strategies there for you if you're interested. A bit of a weird time for that to come up. You think it come up during the formation lap. Let's get on board. Who's close? They're actually closest to each other on track right now. Enjoying the chase. Stuart Foxy on his teammate, obviously. He'll want to be the #1 driver at that team at the moment. As they all round the final corner. Few people going into the pits. Jamovic. Of course, Billy sets the fastest lap on the medium tyres. We'll have a few people straight into the pits. I'll catch up with that afterwards, obviously, because I'm not going to be able to keep up with all of them. Evan and Jamovic into the pits. I'm surprised that Ion Dunn's not gone into pits. I would have thought he had a bit more damage there. Straight onto the hards for both of those drivers. A few gaps spreading. Oof, Dave had a bit of a kick out there of the rear end. No DRS yet, but when DRS is flowing, Billy would want to be a lot further away. Lose it in sector 3. That's where you're going to lose the drivers who are behind you. We have the Ferrari lunatic looking quite close to a bit of a pack of drivers here. I will say that much. Florian as well. I don't know what it is, maybe I'm just losing my mind here, but hold on. Stuart Foxy looked rather close there. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Florian's gear changing here, but it just sounds weird. It might just be me. I don't think I've actually driven in the Red Bull yet this year, so perhaps that's what that sounds like, but I'm sure I'll have to look up that after the race. Because for me it sounds like his gears are moving a bit mad. Both passes round the final corner again with ease. Let's have a look at the mid-pack. Oh, we've got a big group of cars in the middle here. DRS is enabled from this lap as well. Probably the last thing Billy will want to hear. Dave's doing well to keep in touch with the two Hasses as well. Sector 3, yellow flag for Florian. He's gone round again, he's lost his front wing. That will be the last thing he would have wanted. That middle pack from the Aston Martin of Niki Lauda to about Lunatic Kai really is tight. DRS trains will form on this track. That's basically guaranteed. Speaking of DRS, first time we've seen it today. Stuart Foxy chasing me. Maybe playing a bit of a team game at the moment, not going for that, as we've got a few overtakes here. Robsu on Niki, and right behind we have got Lunatic Kai. Nicely done on Hyde. Both drivers who didn't even set a qualifying time, but it looks like Hyde might be saying he's not having any of that on the harder compound tyres, so he'll be looking on a different strat. Nice overtake. Ooh. Let's have a good angle at this. Lovely overtake from Hyde around that high speed turn. Not the easiest, but he certainly didn't shy away. Cut back to Stewart. Actually, I'm just going quickly. Have a look at gap to the leader. 3-second time penalty for Hyde. Multiple warnings. That is a shame. Positions changed at the start of the race. Let's have a look. Biggest winner, Hyde, 9 places. Biggest loser, Eon Dunn, Florian and Evan all getting in lap 1 turn 1 tangles, I'm pretty sure actually. Yellow flag in sector 1. It's the Ferrari of Lunatic Kai. He will not be happy about that. So we've got those drivers coming close to each other as well. Having a look at the tyres. I've got quite a few runners on the hard tyre actually. I should have probably pointed that out sooner on the formation. That's my bad. Oh, maybe the medium tyre isn't the one to go for. We will see. But both the Hasib certainly have gone for it and they are trusting that strategy. A lot to go on maybe later on in this race then. But for now, let's get back just to this on-track action. A bit further back, I think. Got a big tangle here between Elliott, lovely round the outside, although Mighty Fax has kept his nose in, fair play to him. And the Alpha of Eon Dunn will be licking his lips at the sight of this battle going on. As they round the corner, I think Hyde might have gone round. He certainly has. Aston Martin of Elliott trying to have a look at the inside. Can't quite do it. Eon Dunn, I said licking his lips, might be a bit frustrated at this point with that roadblock in front of him. As he looks like he's trying. 3 wide? What is going on here? Stay all round. I think a Ferrari might have gone off as well in front of all these lot. Oh my gosh, it's a... Oh, this is very intense. Hyde followed by Eon Dunn and R. Elliott, Mighty Frax. Looks like the Alfa Romeo is going to have a go on his teammate here. Oh! Big crash. Hyde, I think his rear end, I think he's spun about 3 or 4 times in the last lap, so his rear end probably just had enough. As those two in front, still battling. Mighty Frax this time now losing this one. That is an unfortunate collision for Hyde, given the amount of places he's gained. Between the 2 Alfa Romeos as well, I'm sure they won't be happy with each other on that one. So we follow this battle for nearly a lap now. I'm sorry, I just can't get enough of it. Look at them. DRS for both drivers. Eon Dunn, petrified. But he's actually got away. To be fair for him, even without the DRS, as they go in an orderly fashion. Sector 1, yellow flag. For... I believe that's the Red Bull of Florian. Yeah, Red Bull of Florian. Go back on board. Now we're on board with our leader. It's Billy. Nicely taken. He's got a bit of a gap now to Stuart actually. Stuart's still got DRS just. That happened. As Dave's still chasing nicely in his own little slot. Nicky Lauda will be closest, as I think, dare I say, Hyde has gone round again. He's really, I think his tyres, bless him, have had enough of it. And again, Hyde needs to take his time a bit more here. He did well from the start, but I think a bit of impatience maybe on the accelerator whilst his tyres are burning. Probably not the best idea. As Stuart, is he going to get any closer to his teammate here? The 2 Hasses. Like I said earlier on, no double podium for these 2 as teammates in Division 3 last year, despite having 8 podiums between them in the 12 races. They'll be looking to maybe do away with that straight away this season, as Jamakovic gets penalty for multiple warnings, 3 seconds. Anyone else close? Nicky Lauda chases down Rob Sue. This is probably the closest battle on track currently. Man like Donkey, good progress. I seem to remember him being around 13th during qualifying. Yellow flag sector 2. Is it Hyde? It's Hyde again. I'm going to stop pointing it out at this point. I think it's maybe not the best pre-season race for Hyde, but only throughout the season let's get back on with the race. McLaren and Charlie look a bit close to Man Like Donkey. Both of these drivers had a very good start to the race. Yellow flag sector 2. I'll say his name, but there's no point because I think you know who it might be. McLaren slowly closing up to Man Like Donkey there on the hard tyres. So Dave needs, I will say this, Dave, despite being on the slow compound tyres, has really kept up a good level of pace that he's still in it. As Hyde retires from the session, I think he might have had a crash that time around, and I think we've got a full course. We've got safety car. Yes, safety car is out. It's basically brought Billy to a stop. Maybe the Delta playing a few tricks on him there. Now, who does this really fall in favour of? I'm going to say for Billy and Stewart, maybe now is the time to slap on the hards and maybe try, see what you can do, go to the end. I don't really know when the pit window is for these boys at the moment, but I'd imagine they'd want to, take this advantage whilst they can. And this actually suits them very well. Let's see what they do here. As at this point in the race, we've got Billy leading from Stewart, Dave, AB and MXT. Billy gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits under safety car. That is really not the kind of mistakes you want to be making. Dave stays out. I'm pretty sure all the medium runners have probably decided, yeah, it's time to pit. Got one Nicky Lauda on the hards deciding it's time to pit. Billy serves his 5-second penalty now, but I'm sure he won't be very chuffed about it. And Stewart was in behind him. Stewart might as well have served the same 5-second penalty. I'm sure they will not be happy with each other there as they both go on to the hard compound tyre. Nicky Lauda jumps Stewart. Oof. Come out in 6th and 8th to the Hasses with Nicky Lauda just behind. Eon Dunn's chosen to go onto the softs. Evans got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings under the safety car. Another car coming into the softs, Mighty Frax. Maybe thinking softs and mediums, try and get the jump on a lot of people from the restart. Especially if another safety car comes out, you'd be laughing really. But for now, as we will come out, well, when the safety car ends, we will have the top 5 drivers who have not stopped, all on hard compound tyres. Wonder what they'll be thinking right now. Seems like it's maybe if another safety car comes out for them, maybe that's what they're relying on. I mean, I don't know how often safety cars do really come out around here on this track. It's not really, the barriers are far away from the track. There's a lot of runoff area. I think it does take a lot for a collision to, well, it'd take a collision really and debris to be on track for a safety car to come out more than once on this track. I'd say it's not a lot for me personally. Very high chance. So we've got Dave leading from ABMXT, Rob Sue, who's had a very good start to this race, first 8 laps. Man Like Donkey, same again, and Charlie, all 3 of those drivers, I'd say, have had a very solid start to the race. However, the hard compound tyres, they are on. The rest of the drivers around them, I think Billy, the 5-second time penalty will be annoying. Even more annoying actually for Stuart Foxy, who I think suffered more from it, losing out a position. But I do think maybe Billy might still realistically be feeling a solid chance here with a free stop. Well, I didn't know that was a thing. The lap data thing. I'll use that next time I commentate on qualifying because that's actually quite useful. Alright. Looking at the tyres all these drivers are on then. I think Eon Dunn and the Mighty Frax and Evan will all be looking to basically just get a huge jump from the start. Try and get past all these other drivers on slow tyres. I mean, the tyre wear on this track is crazy, so I think those softs will look like spilt ice cream, to be honest, after a few laps. But we'll see. Nicky on the mediums, can he take them to the end? It would be a shift if he can do it, but if you can do it, then you never know. And then we've got hard compound tyres, new and old. I think the newer hard compound. I mean, look at out for R. Elliott here. 1 lap old hard tyres. Everyone else really that he's near are going to have to pit, apart from Stuart and Billy. So we might even be looking at a podium as Jamal Kovic. Sorry, just wanted to compose. Has just given himself another time penalty. How many is that for? 6 seconds. 8 seconds. Florian, who had a good qualifying, he'll be a bit upset about that. And Evan, once again, another good qualifier, who is really far behind. I'm a bit shocked by that. Right, is it going to be another lap under the safety car? It'd be a bit cruel to come in now so late without the drivers knowing. No, it will be another lap under the safety car to give Eon a chance. What's happened here? Did he spin? He just dropped a bunch of places. He's in the pits. He's lost a front wing. And Eon Dunn is in the pits. Don't tell me they've had a collision under the safety car. It's just something you hate to see. Well, I have no clue why Eon Dunn just bit. But, Lunatic Kai, that'll be annoying. Collision under the safety car is never what you want, really. Always, best thing to do is always give the driver a respect. As we reach 10 laps into this 27. Lunatic Kai saying it's a safety car glitch on the chat, so well, there's your answer to that. I won't really be looking at the chat throughout the race, but I just thought I'd tune in then whilst we're on the safety car, see what it's all about. There you go, what's going on there? In the background, McLaren looked like he was about ready to overtake someone. Bit of George Russell action. That is trying to jump people under the safety car. Safety car in this lap. Pretty sure Evan will be basically doing a quali lap to get up to the pack right now. Only driver out the race so far, Hyde 25. He had a very good start to the race, but I think maybe just a bit of impatience on the tyres when they were already too hot might have cost him. But it is pre-season. If you're going to make a mistake, now is the time to do so. I'd say you realistically, if you're looking for the leader of this race, net, you're looking at it's Billy, and then onwards from there, maybe between it's Billy, Nicky Lauda, who is on mediums. Let's see what time Dave decides to go. I imagine right out of the last corner. Leave it late. Bang. And we're off. Racing A again. It looks like the McLaren in the back there might have had a bit of a sloppy start compared to Billy. On the fresher hards as well is Billy. That round he goes. No risk taken. Oh, he lost the rear of it there. And Billy gets an easy overtake. Sector 1, yellow flags. Who's round? Evan and Jamalkovic had a collision again, I believe. Sorry, let me get back to the action. Rob Sue. Whoa, slippy rear end. Not what you want. But the front three look like they've broken away from the rest of the pack here, to be honest. Dave will be wanting to get as... So Billy up the inside of Man Like Donkey. No DRS needed. Job done. Billy has got some pace there, I will say that. As, oh, I think Nicky Lauda's Nicky Lauda's spun it. Kai gets another time penalty. Now Billy has to chase up to Rob Sue and the rest of that pack of cars. Our Elliott here is as much... I think he'll be straight stuck behind the soft compound tyre. Well, I say that. He's decided he's had enough of the soft compound tyres. I mean, look at him though. Late on the brakes. Nice work from our Elliott to get that position back. Whether he'll keep it, I do not know. Our Elliott very much in the race for the podium here due to the tyre situation and the compound of tyres he has chosen. Rob Sue now. Maybe we'll be having a look at the inside of ABMXT. Do you know what? The capitals in that name are AT, and AT sounds like a decent nickname, so I'm going to call him AT from now on. Any other drivers close together? Lunatic Kai overtake up the inside of the Mighty Frax. Rob Sue, is he going to deploy some overtake here maybe? No. Patience saves the overtake. Eon done, Mighty Frax. Oh, let's have a look here. Two drivers. I've got a Red Bull coming up the inside as well of Florian. Florian's had them both. On the hard compound tyres as well. He will be loving that. That's a brilliant move, to be fair to him. Back up to the fight for second place. I think I said bite. The fight. As Eon Dunn gets up Mighty Frax again. Those two just keep trading places. Oh! Robsu definitely looked for it there. Let's go on board. Billy has closed up quick as well. Stuart Fox right behind him. That 5 second time penalty. Looking like he might have just got away with it, to be fair to him. DRS enabled this lap. If there's one thing that AT didn't want to hear, as Stuart Fox, that's the fastest lap of the race at 1:35.3. Big. Yeah, the one thing I think that AT would not want to hear is that DRS is coming online this lap. But, nevertheless, the Mighty Frax, 3 second time penalty. Time penalties can kill you at the end of the race, especially if someone like Eon Dunn, who is driving consistently well under, you know, in the lines, within the lines, he'll be laughing at stuff like that. As a yellow flag has come out for sector 2. I believe it's R. Elliott. R. Elliott has gone round. As Russo has overtaken AT. There is a massive train of cars. I can't quite describe the size of that train. Lovely overtake up the inside as he nailed it. Oh, this is a battle. I might just let this play out and let you watch as... Oh! Billy gets hindered. His teammate might be fancying it here. Go on board with Stuart Foxy here. AT once again overtakes Robsu after Robsu got him earlier on. Oh no! Oh no! Stuart has spun Billy round. It's a nightmare for the Haas team. Absolute nightmare. Billy sinks. Oof! Billy sinks to last place. No, not last place, already it's there, but this is not the way you want to start some team chemistry building up to, well, race week 1 in Australia next week. Lunatic Kai, another time penalty. It's in 7th place right now. Rob Sue. All this going on, and Dave in front in the Red Bull. Just having a clean race, trying to get the job done. Stuart Foxy. If Gunther Steiner existed in Delta right now, I don't know what I don't know what to say really. I think you know exactly where I was going with that. Rob Sue still tailing AT. Behind the McLaren of Charlie. Looked like he had a look up the inside, maybe not to be. Eon Dunn as well. Evan gets past the Mighty Frax. Eon Dunn, is he going to try it? Is he going to try it? No. Clever play. There's no point in risking it all. You're going to get him eventually on the DRS state. As long as you hold on through sector 3. The only place really to break that toe. Robsu getting very close to AT. It's a diffuser there. Is Eon done? Still looking for a move. He might even look for it here, to be honest. It looked like he had good traction. Not quite. As Man Like Donkey gets a 3-second time penalty. Robsu opens his DRS. Not now. Jamahovic round the... Oh, that looked like I only caught the end of it, but it looked like a nice move. Because Billy is now fighting for Mighty Frax. Some juicy battles going on. Charlie. Look at that. Really saying get a move on to Man Like Donkey, as Kai, really, even though he's got those time penalties, if he could keep it within the track limits, he's looking good right now as Robsu. Yellow flag sector 1, I think that's Elliott. Robsu, nicely done on the straight, don't give him a chance. Park it on the apex, get away. Charlie, or the lunatic, Kai, up the inside of Man Like Donkey. On those, whoa! What happened there? Looked like he might have just got on the accelerator a bit too excited there. He spun himself round. Lunatic Kai has. Ah, so frustrating to see. The driver's making his way up the field like that. Yellow flag sector 2. Mighty Frax round the outside. Probably the same thing as Kai, I think. Maybe those soft tyres, which I think they both had. Yeah, those soft tyres will really probably be feeling it by this point. Yellow flag sector 3. Turned into a bit of a farmer there. Robsu. Stewart, who will be fancying his chances at the win this time around. I don't know when the hard tyres really are going to pit. That first group of hard tyres anyway. Now Kai, another 5-second penalty for stealing the pit lane. Billy take that position. Let's watch from second to Florian, another 5-second time penalty. Let's watch from second to fourth here for a short period of time. I apologise if I miss your overtakes. Oh, nice move from Stewart, taking that line that give him a better exit out that corner. It's easy work, really. Very easy work. AT had a think about it, but it wasn't really given much time to even do so. Eon done, medium tyres. Is he going to try and make them last to the end? Lunatic Kai, another time penalty. I mean, how many is that for Kai at the moment? 11, no, 14 seconds. Yellow flag sector 2. I think that's the Ferrari of Kai has gone around. Eon done. Has done the move on Man Like Donkey. Nicely done. Medium tyres, 6 laps old. They might last as long as he nurses them well. His tyres may last, and if so, that's a brilliant job for him. Charlie into the pits on the hard tyres. To be the hard compound tyres. The ones who've been on longer have decided now is the time to pit, as Man Like Donkey also pits. So it is just Robsu, AT and Dave in the Red Bull, really the only drivers who are yet to stop and need to do their one stop. That's yellow flag sector 1 for the other Ferrari of Jamakovic. Still manages to find himself in the points, as Billy eyeing up Evan, looking for the move. He must be driving with a bit of fury right now, I'd imagine, given the situation that happened earlier in the race. If you're just tuning in, then you have missed quite a very good race, to be fair. A lot going on. I've been struggling to keep up with it, to be completely honest with you all. But we've got Billy, who was leading the race, hit by his teammate in the rear, Stuart Foxy. I know they're good mates, so I'm sure they will resolve it, but even so, during a race, the last thing you want even if it's just pre-season. This is a brilliant display. 10-second time penalty for corner cutting for Lunatic Kai. If he's not careful, he's going to get disqualified as Billy moves up. Nicely done into 8th place. 5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane, AT. Not one of the ones you want. That is a frustrating penalty to get. Leon Dunn moves up to 4th place. As Dave. I haven't really spoke about him much at the moment in this race, but he's done basically nothing wrong and everything right. Driving the car very well on those tyres, making sure they are pristine. As we've got yellow flag sector 3, I think that is Lunatic Kai round again. I mean, he has to pit though. And that pit stop, I mean, it could see him sink a fair few places, as we have got, I think, Evan round. And he will fall under attack from AT. No DRS needed. All moves not done yet. Moves done. Fair play. Florian has had probably the most up and down race I may have ever seen, going straight to the back from the start, worked his way up. I'm pretty sure he got hit down again after spinning early on, and now he's found himself up in 5th place. Robsu comes in for his stop. Dave continues on. Tyres must be screaming at this point. 19 laps on the hard tyres for Dave. I'm going to see where Robsu comes out, really. I'm going to keep an eye on that, because, you know, as much as I'm saying how brilliant Davis drives and everything like that, strategy may have let him down. Robsu was about 4-5 seconds behind, and Robsu is, you know, currently sank. I mean, it is unfortunate due to that safety car. Robsu is in a battle with Jamakovic. There you are. It's 3 seasons, you let me off. But lovely racing from the lads. As Florian now looking to go up. Eon Dunn, who's in the pit, who's in the podium positions right now. Brilliant drive, to be fair to that driver right there. Brilliant drive. Whoa! Florian, I was talking about ups and... Oh! I think Billy had to take some evasive action there. That was very risky from Florian. Like I said, most up and down race I've ever seen. He went all the way up again, and now he's all the way, well, not all the way down. He slipped a bit down, shall I say, as Dave comes into the pits. Now, Dave may be looking at potentially 7th. No, he must be looking around, yeah, he must be looking around 7th place. Dave, he's putting on the soft confound tyres. 7 laps soft confound tyres. Elliott gets a time penalty. Frustrating for him, he was in such good position. Well, looking like he was in such good position during that safety car. Lunatic Kai, another time penalty. I don't know how he's not been disqualified yet, to be honest with you. Time penalties. As AT sets a 1:34 fastest lap. Eon Dunn frustratingly takes the time penalty. Last thing you want. Robsu goes round Jamakovic, who was also going around spinning, basically. I was going to try and make a pun, a bit of property there, but couldn't think. I'm not quick on my toes just yet. Lauda eyeing up a move on Billy on those medium tyres, which he has. I mean, if he must have nurtured quite well, to be honest, to be keeping up with Billy, because, you know, Billy, we all know, has pace, or to be even in the ramp vicinity of Billy. But if we look at the interval to the leader, I think Dave 18 seconds in 7 laps. Oh, I do want some sort of, yeah. 18 seconds in 7 laps, no matter how soft your tyres are. Maybe you can nick a fastest lap. But we've got a bit of a spread at the moment in all of the drivers. Go on board with Stewart until I see anything else happening. Your current leader of this Grand Prix. And, well, the constructors of Haas probably favourites for this season, and they're proving it absolutely today. Still on for that double podium finish that I said eluded them throughout the entirety of the last season in Division 3. Lauda's really close up again to Billy. In Sector 1 we've got I think potentially the McLaren just had a bit of a moment there, but he's back on. Evan re-jumps Jamakovic, who was in the pits. Oh. But do let me know in the comments or the drivers in the Discord anything you think I could improve on. I'll be doing this throughout the season, hopefully. Looking forward to every race. Next week in Australia, I'd argue quite a big race, especially because it's a new track layout. As hello, Dave has found his way much quicker than I would have thought up to Niki Lauda. If I was Niki Lauda, I'd just let Dave pass, see if he can race Billy, maybe see if anything crazy happens. There's not much point holding up a man who, you know, well, I mean, he did leave Dave to his business, but has gone into the pits probably to fit the soft compound tyres, I can only imagine. Billy, now this will be the battle on track as he sets the fastest lap of 1:33.8. Billy will be looking in his mirrors here thinking, damn, let's see what this Red Bull can do. Charlie jumps Lauda in the pits. Charlie's had a solid race as well. Now, I was saying about earlier, Dave not really getting involved in anything, having a clean-cut race to get himself in a good position. Well, let's see what happens when Dave gets involved. This will probably be a battle we'll be seeing throughout the season. Dave wants the outside. Bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there, I think, with Billy. Probably a bit unnecessary contact, to be honest, given the inside was there and you've got the softer compound tyres, but each to their own. Move is done. No one was harmed. Robbed too, who was looking quite good before the pit stop, still looking good at 7th place, no one can complain. The Ferraris today really have had a bit of a nightmare, I will say, with the penalties and just, yeah, the pits in general. A bit too much, a bit too many issues. If you want to consider yourself in the top lot of this pack, you need to basically iron out issues and penalties. As in Sector 3, I think we've got Florian round again. The ups and the downs. It's like a seesaw. Billy actually keeping up with Dave fairly well. Florian into the pits, probably the tyres are knackered. Let's see what Billy can do in this race at Paul Ricard. As I was saying, sorry, yeah, next week, Australia, new track layout for this year. Sector 1, we have got the Ferrari, I think, at the moment. Yeah, new track layout in Australia this season. Very much looking forward to seeing how the drivers do on that. It's quite high-speed track now, to be honest. The turns are sharp, but the overall flow, especially through that new Sector 2, I think it'll be very exciting to see how the drivers get on. What is any closer battles going on? Frax maybe looking up on Elliott, but Dave now on those soft tyres is really the one to watch towards the end of this race. What's Ian Dunn's time penalty actually? That's a good question, I'm sure people are asking. 3 seconds. At this rate, Ian Dunn's time penalty, even though he is driving superbly, will be costing him a podium and giving Billy a nice little seat there in P3. Dave closing. He'll be probably saving, I'd imagine saving any overtake, although it does look like he's quite low there on his ERS. You'd imagine he would save an overtake for the second straight. But he is really, really up the gearbox there of Ian Dunn. Pushing him along, basically. Billy just closing because of this. Robsu, time penalty. Unfortunate, he's driven well today, but the time penalties are being passed out for fun in this race, as Dave says thank you very much to Ian Dunn. R. Elliott, another time penalty, is the reserve driver. R. Elliott, sector 3. What's going on in sector 3 with another front wing loss? Ooh! Kai has to be a bit more cautious there if you're going slowly on track. As we get back to the front action there, I think Ferrari have probably lost their yearly budget to work on the car in this one race so far. Billy now sees Ian Dunn, who doesn't have DRS. A bit of, you know, I'm not a massive fan of that, but no harm done. As Billy now retakes position of third place, the pole sitter of this race. I'm sure, I mean, I've mentioned it a few times now, I'm not going to mention it again, but yellow flag sector 2. Yep. Yep. Florian finding his way past Jamak. Oh! The Ferrari driver. What's going on here? What is going on? I'm going to ignore that. Not really the kind of racing that people come to see here, I don't think. I don't really want to give it any time of day. How many time penalties? 37 seconds of time penalties. At what point do you get disqualified? Alright. A bit confused by that one, but sure. We've got Nicky Lauda, who's driven a solid race, soft tyres, 8th place. I think he qualified a bit higher up than that, but given how this race has gone with the incidents and time penalties, he'd be looking good. As Stuart Foxy gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's not start that now with Dave on the chase. Evan, ooh, having a funny moment there, I think. But he will be looking to chase down Man Like Donkey on the mediums. Mediums v mediums. Let's see who's got the pace. Billy, 3-second time penalty. No more of those, please, he will be saying, because Ian Dunn not far behind. That makes them level, basically, on penalties. As the McLaren of Charlie looking... I think Lauda actually just got past Charlie. Yeah, he did. That's my bad. As Evan does get past the Mercedes of Man Like Donkey. We are coming up to the last lap of this race. Right, well there we go. 40 seconds of time penalties is apparently enough to get you disqualified. Who would have thought? Sector 2 yellow flag. And the Ferrari drivers have both retired together. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very... I'm not going to shy off saying poor race from both those drivers. I'm sure they'll want to do a lot better next time out. And I'm not sure what the theatrics were earlier on. As we're on the final lap now with your race leader. As I just quickly look at this little battle going on between the Alfa Romeo and Alpine. There will be probably a bit of shuffling going on after the checkered flag due to time penalties and such, but overall it's been a very entertaining race, I'll say you that much. There's been something going on basically every second of the race. I don't think we've been starved for any form of entertainment or stuff to watch, as the Alpine driver 80 closing on Eon Dunn, closing round, well, down the inside. Easy does it. No problems for the driver. Stewart, let's have a look. Race winner, well, let's not jinx him, but as long as he can do this final sector for the 27th time, he will be the race winner of the opening, if not counting for the championship points. It's a pre-season race that people will want to win to show what their intentions are, and I think Stewart, Dave, Billy especially after that knock from his teammate, will all be filled with this podium. Round the final corner for Stewart to take the win at Paul Ricard. So a big round of applause to him. Dave coming through for the big second place. Billy will take third, and AT will take fourth, followed by Eon Dunn. Rob Sue, who had a fairly solid race, congratulations to him. Nicky Lauda, no time penalties, one of few. I think him and Dave might have been the only drivers without time penalties, so fair play to him. You've got to, respect that. As he goes up, well, he will stay in 7th place, but it's a solid race. Charlie crosses the line 8th, Evan 9th, and final points positions, man like Donkey in 10th. Florian, up and down the race. I'm sure he'll be quite upset, to be honest. He's not managed to grab himself some points in the pre-season race here. But fair play to him for finishing out despite a tricky race. And the Mighty Frax will come home in 12th. Had a good battle as he does some wheel spins there to end pre-season. Oh! That was a unique way to end that. But I'll let the driver of the day, Eon Dunn, well deserved. And here is your race winner, Stuart Foxy, for the Haas. He'll be looking at the Drivers' Championship now that he's got that, and with Billy alongside him, first time, well, in a very long time in a season. It doesn't technically count, but I will, for their own joy, I will say the first time that they've been on the podium together in a full season is Billy and Stuart Foxy, with Dave doing very well to get that P2 on a strategy that was kind of snuffed by the safety car, but he's recovered it well, and I'm sure he will have his eyes on that championship too. That is all from me for this Grand Prix, and I'll see you all next week for the Australian Grand Prix.